Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube. Brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. And People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I have University of Illinois Extension 4-H educator Sarah Martin here on the phone. Great to have you here, Sarah.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So you've been pretty busy as of late, and you still are staying pretty busy as you've entered the new 4-H year relatively recently. When was that new 4-H year again?
So the new 4-H year kind of matches or mirrors the calendar year for the schools.
Okay.
So our 4-H year starts September 1st of every year and goes until August 31st. So we roll over September 1st.
I wasn't exactly sure if it were start of September or October, so I appreciate you clarifying.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot going on here, and something that 4-H I think that kind of maybe goes by the wayside sometimes when people think of 4-H, all the community service that you offer, and you have something coming up here in the next few weeks actually, community service with these blankets. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like you said, community service is a good component of 4-H, but it's often not talked about as much. We think about 4-H as the projects at the fair and their club experiences, but a big pillar of the 4-H program and experience is getting the kids involved in community service, getting them to give back, practicing that generosity. So we are organizing in Christian County a countywide community service event for our members to be involved in. This is one we've done the past couple years, and it's been really popular. We've had a lot of kids participate, and it is making the fleece tie blankets that have been around for many years that we donate them to the local hospital. So we're hosting an event at the extension office on November 21st. That's the Monday, I think, of Thanksgiving, from 4 to 6 p.m. I believe you can just stop by during that time, help make a blanket, make multiples, make one and leave. So we hope our members can come that evening.
Hosted by the Christian County Youth Leadership Team, I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our youth leadership team is comprised of our older teens in the program, 13 to 18-year-olds, and they help our county staff and myself plan events and kind of practice leadership. So they wanted to help plan this event, so they're kind of helping spearhead some of the coordination. They're going to be there to help the younger kids, help tie blankets, just kind of be some of the team leaders there that evening.
Who is able to make a blanket and assist with this effort?
So we're inviting any and all of our 4-H members, any age. So it's listed at 8 to 18. I would say if our Cloverbud members of 5 to 7 want to come and bring a parent so that they can, be a little more supervised, that's more than welcome. But it's open to all ages, all skill levels. So if you've never done it before, there'll be someone there showing you how to tie it. We'll have people there helping to cut the edges. And I believe you can bring your own material. We will have some there too. But if you can also bring your own material or donate some fleece, that would be helpful as well.
Right. I was going to ask you how many blankets you've made in the past with this program.
I believe last year they made close to 20 or 30. I know there was quite a few kids there and, working for the full 2 hours. So I believe it was close to that 20 or 30 mark. I don't know for sure, but we're hoping to make that many or more this year as well.
That's a lot of fleece. I'm sure that's you don't necessarily just have that on a stockpile, although you might, but I'd imagine you don't. So how are you? You alluded some donations. Yeah. Go ahead and tell me about that.
Yeah. So some families do have some fleece, or some quilters or sewers have some of that fleece around or can access it quicker or easier. If they're bringing their own, they need to be at least 1 yard in length so that we can make a big enough blanket. But we're asking for donations, or those kids that come to bring their own fleece, but we are also going to purchase some with some local funds and donation money, so we make sure that we have at least enough to make a few blankets.
Obviously, your goal for these patients at the hospital to provide them blankets to be comfortable, cozy, warm, in a place they might not be very familiar with. But what do you feel as 4-H, as a 4-H educator, what do you feel the goal is to have your 4-Hers make these blankets for these patients?
Yeah. So like you said, like the immediate goal is just to make the blankets and give back to the community, give them those people that are in need of that, give them what they need. But the bigger goal and the reason why we do the community service in general and we make it a part of the 4-H program is to instill that want and understanding of the importance of giving back and generosity in these youth. So there's studies and lots of research that's been done that the more kids see community service and are interacting and being a part of it, the more likely they'll continue that into their futures, and the more likely they'll be more generous and practice those generosity pieces when they're adults and in their communities when they're older.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that you want to highlight about the blanket community service that you're offering? That's coming up in November. Maybe just go ahead and go over some of the details, registration information, etc., if you would.
Yeah. So yeah, just again, a reminder, if any 4-H members are invited to participate, it is Monday, November 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. You can stop by between any of those 2 hours and help make 1 blanket, 3 blankets, however many you want to stay for. If you're coming, we just ask you to register so that we just know about how many kids are coming, how many blankets we need to plan for. And again, if you want to bring your own fleece or donate some, if you can't come in person, you can drop that off to the extension office this week.
And when you make the blankets, you'll make them at the extension office and then later drop them off at the hospital.
Correct. Yeah. So that night we're going to be making them, and I believe the plan is to drop them off before the Thanksgiving holiday, then whether the next day or the day after. But yeah, so we'll make them that evening and then donate them the next day or two.
Take me through that evening. Is it chaotic? Pretty calm when you're? It's a lot of blankets crafted at one time. So what does it look like? What's the energy?
It'll kind of depend. It'll go in waves. So I know, I don't think it was last year, but maybe a year or two ago when I was there and helping with it. If all the kids came at one time or a big group of them did, so it was chaotic. Then we probably had 4 or 5 tables with 3 or 4 kids at a table. The older ones were cutting out the tie points. The younger kids were tying them. Going around and tying them. We had kids cutting material like into the right sizes. So the more kids that are there, the more a little not chaotic, but busy it is. But so then it goes in waves. Then a group will leave, another group might come in. So, but it's always so cool to see, the community events like this, or the county events, excuse me, are some of the only times that some of these kids interact with 4-H members outside of their club. So they're used to going to their club meetings every month and doing club activities. So these county and unit-wide and statewide events, they get to interact with kids that they don't see all the time. So that's always a fun part of it as well.
That's something I wouldn't think of. Sarah, when you described the scene, the first thing that popped up, you ready? Santa's workshop.
For sure. Yeah.
Kind of a similar vibe. People making stuff for other people and it being a little bit chaotic, but also a lot of fun.
And it is so much fun. I mean, they're there to do a job and to complete a task, but they always, find fun in it. I know a couple years in a different community service, but the same idea, they were playing music and, having discussions. So, they find the fun in it because, and again, making that fun and making that something they want to do will increase the likelihood that they will want to continue to give back and be a part of community service in the future.
Well, Sarah, I know just a moment ago, you also mentioned how this is not just a Taylorville chapter thing, it's a county-wide thing. Is there anything else that you want to mention about this blanket making for the Taylorville Memorial Hospital?
No, just to encourage anybody that can attend to attend. And if you can attend and want to still participate, you can donate fabric just to kind of help out to get as many blankets as we can made for the hospital.
That's 4-H educator with University of Illinois Extension, Sarah Martin, here on the WTIM Morning Show. More from her after this short timeout. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and people's bank and trust, where they put people first. And before you head into break, just wanted to reiterate Sarah's time, date, etc. They'll make the blankets from 4 to 6 p.m. Monday, November 21st at the Christian County Extension Office. And you may donate fleece, which I'm sure they'll need, at the Christian County Extension Office between now and November 21st. Back with more right here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM.
Today, I want to talk about a very specific soybean. It's an Enlist E3 soybean, but not just any Enlist E3 soybean. Let me pull over. I'm at a Pioneer test plot near Portageville, Missouri. This field is dedicated to studying new Pioneer brand A-Series Enlist E3 soybeans. What makes these soybeans special? Because instead of the standard germplasm that is in most Enlist E3 soybeans, Pioneer brand A-Series Enlist E3 soybeans have exclusive and elite germplasm. Obviously, when we're talking about germplasm, you can't see that with the naked eye. That's why Pioneer has test plots like this one all over the country to see how their exclusive germplasm performs in the real world. And so far, their performance is impressive. Strong yield potential and great agronomic characteristics impressive. From their DNA in the lab to their health in the field, Pioneer brand A-Series Enlist E3 soybeans are literally like no other.
Christian County Senior Citizens sends best wishes for a happy, safe Halloween and reminds boys and girls to be sure to stay in neighborhoods they know well. Do not enter a house unless you are with an adult. Always carry identification, your name, address, and phone number. A Halloween safety tip from your friends at Christian County Senior Citizens, 701 West Adams Street in Taylorville. Make this Halloween extra fun and safe, says Legacy Grain Cooperative, with locations in Stonington, Blue Mound, Sharpsburg, and Mowequa. Kids, stay together and watch traffic. Walk on the left side of the road where there's no sidewalk. Adults, watch out for the little ones while driving this Halloween. With best wishes for Halloween, this safety reminder is from Legacy Grain Cooperative, with locations in Stonington, Blue Mound, Sharpsburg, and Mowequa.
Flu season is upon us, and getting your flu shot with Springfield Clinic is easy. Ask for your flu shot at your next doctor's appointment or call to schedule an appointment. Visit springfieldclinic.com/flu to see flu shot clinic dates available near you. Springfield Clinic, a community of caring.
C&B Bank and Trust is helping to open doors for your wealth. Schedule your appointment with Victor Henson by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Not FDIC insured, no bank guarantee, may lose value.
Hi, I'm Bob Raddings of the Bob Raddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube. Brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I have 4-H educator Sarah Martin on the phone, and we're talking a little bit about everything going on with 4-H. One of the things you have coming up, you have an achievement night pretty soon here. What does the achievement night entail, and when is it? All the details, if you would, Sarah.
Yeah, so achievement night every year is just our kind of culminating, another culminating event to award and recognize kids who've won awards, recognize our volunteers, just kind of to celebrate our 4-H, the best and the brightest. And our achievement night in Christian County is happening next Tuesday evening at 6:30. It's invite only, so those that are getting awards, those that are going to be recognized, got invitations in the mail and an email, and know how to sign up and register and all that stuff. So, but yeah, every year around this time, we look back on the past 4-H year and recognize award winners and things like that. So we're doing that next Tuesday evening.
That's Tuesday, November 1st.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. And they're at the extension office. Yep.
And no registration, right? You just got to be part of 4-H.
Correct. Yeah. No registration. Though, like I said, it's invite only. So the ones
Gotcha.
that have gotten invitations, I believe, are supposed to call, or there's a special registration for them. But yeah, it's not an open to the public
Understood.
event.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, let's see. We can mention that. Oh, I wanted to also give you a chance to review some of the things you've been up to lately. Catch everybody else up on, because I know fall is just as busy as summer for you at times.
Yeah, we were just talking over the break as like, that we think the summer is the busiest time for 4-H, and it is really busy with fair and all that stuff. But fall is kind of the ending of summer and all the busyness, and then we're starting back up with the new year. We're doing achievement nights, we're doing workshops, 4-H week. Like fall is just as busy of a time for us in extension and 4-H. But one of the bigger things we also do in the fall that we just did this past weekend was our unit wide, so our 4-county unit. Got together and did an officer training for our 4-H club members who are officers in their clubs, as well as a volunteer training to just kind of learn some of the ins and outs of what their roles entail. And then during that event, we also held a community service project. So again, showing the importance of that community service, where we packaged birthday bags. So the youth donated cake mix, icing, birthday decorations, plates, napkins, candles, and we bagged them up and took them to local food pantries so that families there will have all the supplies they need to celebrate a birthday.
That's awesome. And food pantries, they need it from everybody. But it's also awesome to just to see the 4-H helping out with the food pantries.
Yeah, it's one that we've done a couple years ago and had really good success with, and the food pantries loved it. The kids loved doing it. So we brought it again. I believe we packaged a total of 140 or 150 separate birthday bags. So, and those, because it was a 4-county unit, those went out to Jersey County, Christian County, Macoupin, and Montgomery. So, everybody kind of benefited from that community service.
You, with all that, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that it sounds like you are very busy, and it might give the impression that you are already underway and somebody can't join at this point. But I know with 4-H, that's not the case. You can join now if you want and still catch yourself up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about the 4-H year starting September 1st, going through October 31st. We like to enroll with kids as soon as possible so they have a full year of all these experiences. But if you're listening and you yourself or you know of a child that's like, oh, I would benefit from the program, call us up, Google us, look on our Facebook page. We take enrollments, registrations all throughout the year. We have a few deadlines to meet to be eligible to show at the fair in the summer, just so we have numbers and things. But you can enroll today, you can enroll January 1st, you can enroll April 1st, May 1st. So at any time, if you think, oh, I'm interested in a 4-H club or a 4-H experience, it is open for you to join.
Just to clarify, 4-H year runs from September 1st to August 31st, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right. And also you have your 4-H Clover Buds too. They can also.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So the Clover Bud program is for our 5 to 7-year-olds. So it's fairly similar, but just a little bit different. It's kind of a just sized down version of 4-H. There's a few less projects, a few less things that they are expected to do since they're a little bit younger, but it kind of sets the stage and gets them ready to be a full member when they turn 8.
Right. Quickly here, what are some of those deadlines that 4-H members need to meet if they want to participate in the fair?
Right. So the biggest deadline every year is April 15th. So April 15th every year is the deadline that you need to be enrolled and have projects selected in order to show those at the fair. And that's simply so that we know you have project books and have time to complete the project in time for the fair in July. You can still enroll in a club in May or June or July. You just won't be eligible to show at that fair that summer. So April 15th is the biggest deadline.
4-H educator Sarah Martin. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington.